Welcome to the MOTO Freak Channel. Greetings to all viewers, subscribers, supporters. So to the point, the Renault 1.5 Dci engine, internally known as the K9K, is one of the most widely produced and utilized diesel engines in the world. It's an inline four-cylinder, direct common rail injection, turbocharged diesel engine that has been in production since 2001. Its longevity and widespread adoption across numerous brands in the Renault-Nissan-Mitsubishi alliance, as well as by Mercedes-Benz, as OM607 and OM608, and even some Suzuki models, speak to its foundational design. Over its long production run, it has undergone many revisions and technological updates to meet evolving emissions standards and performance demands. History and versions. Introduction. 2001 first appeared in the Clio 2, replacing older 1.9D engines. Evolution. The K9K has seen continuous development, incorporating features like common rail injection, variable geometry turbochargers (VGT) on higher output versions, diesel particulate filters (DPF), and AdBlue, selective catalytic reduction (SCR), in later iterations, often branded as Blue DCI. Power outputs range from very modest outputs of around 65 HP, 48 kilowatts, in early, lower-spec models, up to 115 HP, 85 kilowatts, or even 120 HP, 88 kilowatts, in later, more powerful versions. Widespread application, found in a vast array of vehicles. Renault, Clio, Megane, Scenic, Modus, Kangoo, Fluence, Captur, Cadger, Talisman, Arkana, Dacia, Logan, Sandero, Duster, Logi, Docker, Nissan, Micra, Note, Juke, Qashqai, NV200, Mercedes-Benz, A-Class, B-Class, CLA, GLA, Ceton, Suzuki, Jimny, older versions. Review and opinions. Opinions on the 1.5 Dci are varied, heavily depending on the specific generation of the engine, its maintenance history, and how it's driven. Early generations, pre-2010 approximate, had a reputation for significant reliability issues, detail below. Later generations, post-2010, particularly post-2015 €5 off 6 and Blue DCI, are generally considered much more robust and refined. Renault and its partners invested heavily in addressing the earlier flaws. Overall, when functioning correctly, it's praised for its excellent fuel economy, decent torque for its size, and relatively smooth operation for small diesel. Advantages. Exceptional fuel economy. This is arguably the K9K's biggest strength. It's renowned for delivering very low fuel consumption figures, especially on long runs. Strong low-end torque. The turbocharger provides good pulling power from low RPMs, making it feel responsive in city traffic and capable of highway cruising. Widespread availability of parts and expertise. Due to its vast production numbers, parts are readily available and many mechanics are familiar with the engine. Refinement. Later versions, newer versions with improved common rail systems and better sound deadening are quite refined for a small diesel. Disadvantages. Vulnerability of early versions. The well-documented issues of early K9K engines significantly tarnish its overall reputation. Diesel-specific maintenance requires attention to DPF regeneration on equipped models, AdBlue top-ups on Blue DCI models, and proper diesel fuel quality. Performance limits. While torquey, it's still a 1.5-liter engine. Higher output versions in heavier vehicles might feel less lively. Complexity. Modern common rail diesel engines are inherently complex, meaning repairs, when needed, can be expensive. Common faults and breakdowns. This is where the history of the 1.5 Dci becomes critical. The engine's reputation was heavily impacted by widespread issues in its earlier versions, roughly up to €4 per early €5 standards, before major revisions in the late 2000s, early 2010s. Main bearing failure. Crankshaft bearings. This was the most notorious and catastrophic fault. A design flaw, often linked to oil starvation due to manufacturing tolerances or poor oil circulation/quality, led to premature wear and failure of the crankshaft connecting rod bearings. This typically resulted in a loud knocking noise, followed by complete engine seizure. This issue was particularly prevalent in early high-output versions, e.g. 100/105 HP. Injector problems. Faulty or leaking injectors, particularly with early Delphi fuel injection systems, were common. This could lead to misfires, rough running, excessive smoke, and poor fuel economy. High-pressure fuel pump, HBFP, failure, also linked to earlier Delphi systems. If the HBFP failed, it could shed metal fragments into the fuel system, contaminating injectors and the fuel rail, leading to very costly repairs. Turbocharger failure. While not unique to the 1.5 Dci, turbocharger failures were relatively common, sometimes exacerbated by the main bearing issues, lack of oil pressure, or neglected oil changes. Later versions, generally Euro 5 and Euro 6, post-2010, especially after 2015 revisions with Blue DCI, have significantly improved reliability. While no engine is immune to issues, the systemic design flaws leading to catastrophic failures were largely addressed. Modern K9K engines are generally considered reliable, with issues more commonly being DPF clogging, common to all modern diesels, especially with frequent short trips that don't allow for proper regeneration cycles. EGR valve issues can get clogged with soot, leading to performance issues and warning lights. AdBlue system faults, Blue DCI problems with the AdBlue injector, pump, or NOx sensors can occur. Fuel consumption. This is a highlight for the 1.5 Dci. It's designed for efficiency. Official figures, often very low, sometimes below 4.0 L/100 km in smaller cars under an EDC. Real-world consumption is still excellent, though higher than official figures. Smaller cars, Clio, Sandero 4.5 to 5.5 L/100 km for mixed driving is very achievable. On highways, it can dip below 4.0 L/100 km. Larger cars/SUVs, Qashqai, Duster, Scenic 5.5 to 7.0 L/100 km for mixed driving is typical. Timing. The Renault 1.5 Dci K9K engine uses a timing belt, not chain. This is a critical maintenance item. Replacement interval. The recommended replacement interval typically varies by year and model, but generally falls between 120,000 kilometers to 160,000 kilometers or every 5 to 6 years, whichever comes first. Consequences of neglect. Failure to replace the timing belt at the specified interval can lead to catastrophic engine damage, bent valves, piston damage, as the pistons will hit the valves. This is a crucial service to adhere to. Oil. Oil type. The specific oil specification depends heavily on the engine generation and whether it has a DPF. Older versions without DPF often specified Renault RN0710, typically ACEA A3/B4 or C3, 5W, 40 viscosity. Newer versions with DPF, Euro 5-6 require low ash, low SAPs, oils to protect the DPF. The common specification is Renault RN0720, typically ACEA C4, 5W 30 viscosity. Blue DCI, AdBlue equipped may require even newer specifications like Renault RN17FE or other low SAPs oils, potentially 0W, 20 or 5W30 depending on the exact variant. Oil capacity, typically around 4.5 to 5.0 liters. Importance. Using the correct oil specification and maintaining strict oil change intervals are absolutely critical for the longevity of the 1.5 Dci, especially for protecting the turbocharger and, in older versions, mitigating bearing wear. Many experts recommend shortening manufacturer oil change intervals, e.g., from 30,000 kilometers to 15,000 to 20,000 kilometers or annually, to enhance engine life, particularly for older K9K engines or those doing short urban trips. In summary, the Renault 1.5 Dci K9K is a ubiquitous diesel engine with a long and somewhat checkered history. Early versions suffered from severe and well-documented reliability issues, particularly regarding main bearings and fuel injection components. However, later generations, especially those from around 2010 onwards, have seen significant improvements in reliability, becoming a much more robust and dependable engine. For prospective buyers of used cars with this engine, a thorough service history is paramount, specifically looking for evidence of regular and correct oil changes and timing belt replacements. Given its excellent fuel economy, the 1.5 DCI could be a great choice for those who do higher mileage, but due diligence on the engine's specific version and maintenance is essential. Thank you for watching the video, and I invite you to subscribe to the MOTO Freak channel. Greetings to everyone, and see you in the next episode. See you soon.